Hello everyone, my name is Harshavardhan Mohite and I am a student of Nath School of Business and Technology. Today, I have privilege of speaking with our special guest, Mr. Novo, a talented musician, a teacher, and the founder of Learn Music Academy. He has dedicated his career to inspiring young musicians while running a successful academy. Welcome, Mr. Novo.
Hey, Harshwardhan. Great to be here. You know, people think musicians just wake up, strum a few chords, and call it a day, but running a music academy is a full time job. Excited to chat about how I manage it all. Music, or any other profession, is to stay passionate, stay disciplined, and create something meaningful.
My first question to you is that what does it mean to be an effective professional in the music industry?
Being an effective professional in music means balancing creativity with discipline. Many people think musicians just play all day, but in reality, running a music academy requires planning, organizing schedules, mentoring students, and managing business operations. Effectiveness means making the most of the time we have, both as an artist and as an entrepreneur.
How do you manage your time between teaching, performing, and running your academy?
Oh, time is like a set list, you have to plan it right, or the show's a mess. I divide my day into three parts. Mornings are for practice and songwriting, afternoons are for teaching students, and evenings go into academy work and performances. I also take one day a week for planning and rest, because burnout is real.
Wow, that's a solid schedule. Do you ever feel there is just too much to do?
All the time, but that's where prioritization helps. I use the urgent versus important method. Urgent tasks get done first, but I always make time for what truly matters, whether it's personal practice or mentoring students.
What are some common challenges musicians face with the time management?
One big challenge? Getting in the zone at the wrong time. You're supposed to sleep, but at 2 a.m., your brain suddenly says, let's write a song. Another issue is distractions, phones, social media, and just random thoughts.
So, what's your trick for staying focused?
I use time blocking, 45 minutes of focused work, then a short break. Also, I set no phone hours during creative sessions. And when inspiration strikes at 2 a.m., I write a quick note and go back to sleep.
Some people think artists don't need time management. What do you say to that?
That's a common myth. Many people think that creativity and structure don't go hand in hand, but in reality, creativity thrives when there's discipline and organization. If I don't manage my time effectively, I won't have enough hours in the day to teach my students, compose new music, or even focus on growing my academy. Without a proper schedule, I could end up feeling overwhelmed, leading to burnout and lost inspiration. Successful artists, whether they're musicians, painters, writers, or filmmakers, all have structured routines that help them stay productive while still leaving room for creativity. For example, some of the greatest musicians follow dedicated practice schedules, and famous writers set daily word count goals. Structure doesn't restrict creativity. Instead, it provides a strong foundation for it to flourish. By managing my time wisely, I can ensure that I'm not only meeting my responsibilities, but also allowing myself the freedom to explore new ideas and create something meaningful.
How do you ensure your students are also become effective learner?
I teach my students how to practice efficiently because mindless repetition isn't the key to improvement. Smart, focused practice is. Instead of just playing the same song over and over again without making real progress, I encourage them to break it down into smaller sections. They should identify the tricky parts, slow them down, and work on them separately until they feel confident. Once they've strengthened those weak spots, they can gradually piece everything back together, making their playing smoother and more polished. I also emphasize the importance of tracking progress. I encourage my students to keep a practice journal where they note what they worked on, what challenges they faced, and what small victories they achieved. When they look back and see how far they've come, whether it's finally nailing a difficult chord transition or mastering a complex melody, it gives them a sense of accomplishment and keeps them motivated to keep improving.
Do you use any specific tools or technique for managing your schedule?
Absolutely. I use digital calendars to schedule classes and performances, and I keep a to-do list for daily tasks. I also rely on time blocking techniques, setting specific hours for different tasks to avoid getting overwhelmed. Additionally, I use music apps to track student progress and send reminders for upcoming lessons.
If someone want to be both a successful musician and a business owner, what advice would you give?
The key is to develop both artistic and business skills. Passion alone isn't enough. You need to be organized, disciplined, and constantly learning. Set clear goals, manage your time wisely, and don't be afraid to seek help when needed. Whether you're running a music academy, composing, or performing, effectiveness is about balancing creativity with responsibility.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nov, for this valuable insight. Your journey as a musician and an academy owner is truly inspiring. Before we wrap up, is there any final piece of advice would you like to share?
Yes, my advice to anyone, whether in music or any other profession, is to stay passionate, stay disciplined, and never stop learning. Time is our most valuable resource, so use it wisely. Keep creating, keep practicing, and most importantly, enjoy the journey.
That's wonderful advice. Thank you again for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
The pleasure was mine, Harshvardhan. Best of luck to you and your fellow students.